Hello.
How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you for asking. I am great.
Great to be here. I'm happy to be here with you.
Good. Glad to be here with you. Good to see you.
It's good to see both of
All
you.
right.
Likewise.
Okay. All right. How was traffic?
It was horrible.
Well, Seattle, what can you expect?
Yeah,
Can I kick it off by just
Yes.
saying that I'm Brian Hayes. I am the Associate Executive Director of Southwest Houston Family Services, where we provide behavioral health, high school education, family support services, early learning.
Awesome. I'll go next. I'm Soraya Milton. I am the Marketing and Public Relations Manager for Progress Pushers. We are a nonprofit organization. We help systematically impacted youth reach their goals, figure out what their barriers are, and then obtain their goals.
very nice. I'm Nina Martinez. I'm the Executive Director, Latino Civic Alliance. We're a statewide organization, but our headquarters is in Burien, Washington. And we do an array of services, family wraparound services, and we also do workforce development and also have a small business technical assistance program. Our headquarters is there in Burien. We've been there for, I think, marking 5 years. And it's been a great city, community to be part of. And I'm glad we chose Burien for several reasons. I think just in general, the city staff are very welcoming. When we moved in and we found our space, immediately they came and visited with us, so that was important.
Our relationship is a growing relationship over the last couple of years with the City of Burien. They have become an ally in all of the community work that we're doing out there. There's a lot of red tape sometimes with trying to just work in our communities, and the City of Burien has opened their arms to us and have been extremely helpful and welcoming during our transition into Burien.
Nice. That is cool. I had similar experiences just in terms of the support that they provided. We've had situations where we had to move out of a location in our alcove site, and they were there supporting us 100%, and we were fearful around not being able to sustain the program over a long period of time. They were actually able to support us in getting a new location and seeing us through all of the challenges that we were facing and really just keep us afloat.
One of the things, it might be a pet peeve of mine, but I think we always want to work with our funders, right? We care about what, their funding and, we have that partnership. But in general, not just funders, but also community asking, what does success look like for you? And I always remind them, I don't know, what does success look like for you? You're the funder, what does that look like for you? What does if a community member or someone's asking, what does it look like for you? But for us, as we're providing services, the question is, what matters is what does success look like for the clients we serve.
Absolutely.
And they're
I
the ones that
agree,
are going to tell
100%.
us what it looks like. So every family or every individual is going to have a unique experience or expectation. And if we can deliver that in the beginning, if we can have those, what are the expectations? What are you striving for here, mom, dad, or young man or young girl? What do you want? Especially for the young people too. They have voices, and we want to include them too. But it's a family dynamic for us. We focus on the family, and if they say to us, when mom's saying, "Well, I can't feed. We're not making enough money. I need a better job. Okay, I need." That is really stressing me out, and because of that, all these other things are just impacting me. So for me, success would look like, I have a better better paying job, that I don't have to work 3 jobs, I'm working 2, and that maybe work 1. And so that is how we define success. So
Exactly.
It's going to look very differently. I think for kids, they're very insightful now, as you may know, and they're going to say, I'm tired of seeing mom cry at night or dad, and they're working all these hours, and there's nothing I can do to control that. And so maybe I'm not doing very well at school, so maybe defining doing better at school is success. What do you think about that?
If whoever is taking care of our young folks is not okay, the likelihood of them being okay is really low.
Yeah.
I think that the importance of having wraparound services for the entire family is success. I think not only for our young people, but ensuring that mom, dad, or whoever the custodial guardian is has the ability to be able to take care of whatever is causing them stress in their lives. As a single mom, if I'm not okay, my kids are not okay. Yeah. And I think that is extremely important that we are intentional about providing services that not only help our youth, but also do help our entire families.
Yeah.
I think about the impact on families as it relates to us competing for dollars. I think that we have to find a more efficient way to have those dollars released into the community. And as service providers, we have to be more coordinated in our effort to provide those services. And so we can streamline what we do in terms of having partnerships, because it's interesting that we have a partnership now that we're building, and again, not really knowing a lot about what you do. I think that it's a missed opportunity that we don't have better coordination and collaboration across our programs, so that we can get those dollars and do a better job for serving the community overall.
I think in order for us to be able to do that, it starts with building trust. I think it comes with us just building relationship with one another.
Yes.
If that's a networking event that we do monthly, quarterly with our organizations, probably monthly, to be quite honest with you. We got to be more consistent around here for any change to really happen. But I think that, us breaking bread, having dinner, building trust up from the ground up, that's how you start having those conversations. And then I think in order for us to actually succeed in getting funding for all of us, that's us coming together and coming up with a plan. We may all do the same things, but we don't do it the same way.
So I won't tell a story as much as just to say that I just have too much to even get into, but I'll say that one of my best days for me is coming to work and have a to-do list of 10 things and actually getting none done. That's a good day, because that means that other work is getting done, because all of the things on my list are administrative, and that's not the work.
For me, lately, as we've been building our workforce development program, it's called Building Future Industry Leaders. And it's really brought me a lot of joy, because we know poverty, what it plays in a role of family and kind of the structure and the breakdown there. But when I hear, because sometimes I'll ask staff, send me good news, right? I want to hear them. Someone got a job, or someone completed with one of our pre-apprenticeship program partners or apprenticeship partners. Those are meaningful, because the most success is when the family comes to us and say, thank you so much, LCA, but we've got this. That goes back to what success looks like. And it may not be perfect. That's that's what they want. And who's to define what perfect looks like? It goes back to what we're saying. What does success look like?
Absolutely.
Some of my team has the privilege of being on the Care and Closure Committee, which is the alternative to the juvenile facility. So we're in conversation about a community care home. And a community care home would be ran by community,
Exactly.
Which is or would be that middleman when we're in limbo. We're not sure what we're doing with the kids. We know that maybe the environment that they came from is the reason why they're at the juvenile facility.
Exactly.
And also dealing with the kids who are in the juvenile facility who don't have anywhere to go, so they have to stay in the juvenile facility because there's no other place for them to go. So it's really figuring out, how do we come together as a community to make a centralized space that any youth or family can come to receive resources, a warm bed if need be, a shower if need be, because we understand that when a kid is in survival mode, they're not able to deal with anything other than that. So I think for us, it's pushing that line and really moving the needle on trying to have a community-centered, focused
I love it.
alternative.
I love it. I think it's needed. That's one of my biggest frustrations with the system, and I'm very vocal about it, and I think it can be fixed and reformed, but it's these different entities, and one is not talking to the other. The other thing would be the confidentiality, the ROIs, right? Let's talk about the school districts. I'm not just talking about in Burien, just in general, the challenge school districts have right now, and how do we partner with school districts in a way that's intentional and successful? Because I can understand why some of the kids going to school for social reasons, but sometimes they may not be able to learn the way that they're expected.
Absolutely.
And they might have challenges with that. But in general, how do we? I'm buying into what you're saying, because we need it, And the funding is always a problem, but we have to also show up to these council meetings or show up politically and say, look, it's not humane, to not have a plan. And we have to have a plan. Let me know how I can help, because it's right in my face right now.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I agree with you 100%. One of the challenges that I'm finding over the years is that a lot of the priorities change when the administrations change, and not just like mayors and people on city council. I'm talking about administrators in schools, directors, executive directors of programs and things like that. And so we have to find a way, or commit, because there's a way. We just have to commit to making our programs, particularly programs that we know that gets proven outcomes, make sure that they are part of the fabric of these institutions, and not just be a fly-by-night type of situation. Oh, well, Mary's gone, program's gone. Or Mary's gone, the idea of supporting that program is gone. So we have to figure out a way to make sure that we are enmeshed in what's going on in that particular environment all the time. And so that's one of the things that I've been talking about for years. Clearly it hasn't gotten any traction, because as leadership leaves, so does the desire to do that work. And that shouldn't happen, because now you're starting all over again. It's like every 2 or 3 years, we're starting all over again. It's like I find myself always at the front door, still knocking every 2 or 3 years, as opposed to taking those steps inside of the interior, whatever that situation is, so as to affect some real change. I think that schools play a major role in the work that's being done, because students or young people are at school longer than they're anywhere else throughout the day. We're talking about between 5 to 7 hours, sometimes even longer than that. So I think that schools need to step up, have some real conversations. I know that that's a very hot topic in terms of what you want to talk to, what schools should be talking to students about. But I think that as a community, we need to come to some consensus about where that conversation needs to be had and how we're going to approach that problem. I think that the issue of gun violence, it is very important to me, because it not only impacts the person that was the victim and the perpetrator, but it impacts the entire community.
Yes.
It sends out ripples of anxiety throughout the community, and we need to have safe communities, and we need to feel comfortable and confident being able to go and visit our city parks, our libraries, and patronize all the businesses within our community without fear. And I just think that we need to make a concerted effort as a community across all of our institutions, but primarily with schools, to really, really hit that home. And I was born and raised in extreme poverty. And so I joined the military as a result of that. And I gravitated to this work when I got out of the service, and I've been doing it ever since. And I asked my mother one day, I said, Mom, I don't know what I want to do with my life. And I'm 60, right? She says,
I'm not sharing my age.
That's okay. She says, I think you're doing it, and there's nothing else you could possibly ever do. And so I'm saying that to say that I think that I've gravitated to this because I was the recipient of services like this. I know what it's so, and I never really thought about it till I talked with my mother about it. So I actually was able to sustain life as a result of having counseling programs and family support programs and food banks and, alternative education center programs, those type of things. I was raised in the programs that I work in.
I say often I am a product of nonprofit organizations. I started at 15 and a half taking care of myself, and if it was not for the nonprofits that were around at that time, I'm not quite sure where I would be. Yeah. So I agree. I think you're just kind of born into it, you're put into it, and there's really kind of no way to fight it.
Yeah. I don't know what else to do.
I couldn't agree with that more, because I've done other things, and it still led me back here.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I guess I'll close with the why for me. I'll finish as I like to fight. I'm just kidding. The why I like advocacy, the spirit of it.
Yeah.
So, we wouldn't be doing this work if we didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed this conversation with
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Thank you. I appreciate both of you really having sitting and talking with me, and this is cool. I look forward to the opportunity to really connect beyond this.
Yeah.
After this, I really look forward to seeing you both
follow
again.
through. Yeah, we can do it. We can make it happen.
We will.
We'll do a think tank. We'll create our own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. At all levels, the program level, the administrative level, exec level, we can do it. I mean, we have all that wisdom right here. We can make it happen.
You bet.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.